I have the camera on. You can say hello to everyone on camera.
Hello, everybody.
We're just getting prepared, so just be another couple minutes. We're just getting our act together.
You're happy to see us, been missing us. We're having boost withdrawal.
Either in the studios or music. No, I mean, I just want to be sure we can hear it. Studio. Otherwise, we'll have feedback.
The only feedback we want is positive feedback. The only feedback I'm interested in. I see applause. Nice. We got our shot there. Mm-hmm. Hello, world. I'm coming out in you.
That's right. We're just, Linda's good time. We can give her the studio in just a little bit. She'll be on camera just a little bit better, I think.
She's got the light when she's doing.
Yeah, we're good. Here. Over here. There we go. That's better.
Good. I'll take you on my lap.
Yeah, see, I don't want her to be off. She's almost off. There. Pull it over a little bit. There we go. How's that? We got her?
Better?
Yeah, it's good. It's better. We got all of us. We look like talking heads. We're so short. This is like the short people convention.
No, today's show is not the All Chris show. It's all the short show.
It's a short show. I wonder if this is this volume. I'm going to pull that up just a hair. I think that's better. There we go. I'm going to pull it up just a little higher. There.
Okay, because we want the volume
pull that volume up.
Corrected.
And I'm going to go ahead and pull the mics up, so we're going to be quiet. In 1 minute, and once I do that, we'll have a minute to go. So it'll be. It's interesting. There's 2 times say a different time.
We're good.
Okay, I'm going to pull up the mics now, and then I'll signal when we're ready.
Good morning. I'm Betsy Wiersma.
And I'm Rhonda Shea.
And you're listening to Boost Power Radio as you plug in for some uplifting ideas from super cool women to support you in your world. Sister style, up close and personal. We're here for you to deliver interviews on purpose, to discover the choice points on the journey, learn something new, be inspired, connect, and get ready for your own great life. And everything about it, Rhonda, is all about the fun.
It's always fun here with you, Betsy, and I know we have some very special guests here today that we both know and have a lot of fun with, too. So I'm excited to introduce them to our friends in the listening audience. We're kicking it off in the Good Work segment, and we have Dr. Lynn Hellerstein from Hellerstein and Brenner Vision Center. She is one of the world's leading doctors for vision therapy, and she is a hero, really, literally a hero in family health.
We are so happy to have Lynn. She's personally saved my daughter's life. I'll tell you more about that later. Next in good news, we have the amazing Susan Frew, who created Thriftanista. Thriftanista!
I love Thriftanista. That is so cool.
That is where you shop and you learn how to thrift shop and also do good and have fun. So we're going to talk to her. And she's got a sidekick with her, Kim McGrigg from Metro North Chamber. Who's the sponsor of an event here in Colorado.
And they're like an award-winning chamber. They're amazing. So we can't even have them. And in our Thought You Knew segment, we have a video interview with Marina Mora. And when I cut this video, I tell you, I just loved her. You're going to fall in love with her. She's a great interview, and she's the interview took place in Argentina, but she's actually from Venezuela, and she's part of the Global Sister Network. And Betsy's going to have Betsy interview her, so that's an amazing story.
Because this is Global Day. I've got the Global Sportswear on, the Global Sisterhood Sportswear today, because it's a Global Day. And then, of course, at the end, we always tell you how you can plug in to have fun and get involved in the world and in Denver, Colorado. So, Rhonda. I think it's time for our first, throw your paper, it's a professional thing to do. It's time for our first interview.
Oh, I'm so excited that I get to do this. First of all, this is Dr. Lynn. Hi, Lynn. Hi. And I have known Lynn for, I don't know how long now, maybe 14 years, 12 years, something like that. Yeah, and she is a business owner. She has a personal story that's amazing. She has done some things that are absolutely incredible, especially, I'm just going to let her talk about it, because it's too doctory for me. It's amazing. And so the fun fact is that she came from a professional music family, right? That's correct. Yeah, tell me a little about that, and let's jump into your background.
Yeah, my dad was a professional piano player, and he was in college hoping to be a performer. He found out how little professional musicians made, and ended up switching careers and became an optometrist.
Oh, so was that how you got in the field?
Well, I knew what it was, but I was really interested in pediatrics. That's what I was really going. Changed my mind at the end. I knew I wanted to work, especially with kids, and change people's lives.
That's amazing. Now, tell us about your practice. Because you mentioned kids, and I know that you see everybody, not just children. But tell us a little bit about what you do, and why is it that we should come to you? Because I know that you do some things that are very different than others. So please, very expressive.
Well, Hammerstein and Brennan Vision Center, I'm co-owner and founder of that practice. And we provide the highest quality and excellence in vision care. We will see anywhere, from little babies to adults and elderly. Vision is our dominant sense for learning. We go beyond just the 20/20. Very high technology, gorgeous optical. So we're really concerned about your eye health, which really is like a picture of somebody's body for other eye diseases, exams with glasses, contact lenses. We treat a lot of eye disease. And then my specialty is vision therapy, and that's what I'm really passionate about.
Tell us a little bit about that, because not everybody's familiar with vision therapy.
Sure. Most people think that if you see 20/20, that's perfect vision. And that's only one of 17 skills you need to really do well visually for school or work or sports. And so when we look at a patient, we want to make sure that the eyes are healthy and get those glasses, but we also want to make sure they can coordinate their eyes, focus, track hours of eye-hand coordination, depth perception, processing, visualization. So we go well beyond the 20/20. And if we find problems, often those problems can interfere in school. So many of our kids have learning problems, they have double vision, our adults have headaches when they try to do the computer all day long. Our athletes sometimes swing and miss ball and don't understand why they're inconsistent. So we're really looking at the functional part of vision. And then if we find some issues, we provide vision therapy.
I just received, I haven't read it yet, but one of your books. So would you tell about the sports book? Why don't you comment on that a little bit for the audience about that? Because then we have children that don't know themselves read this.
Sure. Well, my first book is called See It, Say It, Do It. It's a process I created really because of my own personal health problems. And it's about visualize, declare, and take action. It's really to empower kids to learn more efficiently. And from that came the 50 Tips to Improve Your Sports Performance.
That's the book I have.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you now skiing and,
I have trouble skiing with my eyes because I can't get the depth perception of the moguls anymore. And so it surprised me. And that's not, you really got to use your knees a lot if you're going to get surprised. It's like, oh my God.
Well, that's exactly what we do in vision therapy is there are a lot of things we can do to improve your depth. It could be different types of glasses or tints or really teaching your brain how to visually process. Your great athletes have unbelievable visual skills, much better than what we could imagine.
Well, I think this is where I get to put in my life testimonial. Well, so my daughter was born with 2 lazy eyes, and it's called strabismus.
Well, my daughter had that.
Strabismus.
Strabismus. See, I actually
had that too.
I said a fancy word. So it was interesting. She had her left eye would go to the left, and her right eye would go to the right. So she would look at you, and she would just, only one half of her brain would work. And so we had the surgery, but then we came and brought her to Dr. Lynn and discovered that just her eyes were not lining up, even though they looked visually like they were perfect, but they were not lining up. And through wonderful work in Dr. Lynn's practice of vision therapy, we were able to help Sarah really read and really excel in school. And from the outside, you would never have known anything was wrong, but boy, it was life-changing. And so again and again, we thank you and your team, Lynn, for all the vision therapy and all the things that you do to help these kids.
Now, I'm going to say, if my daughter Chessie is listening, call her up. She went through that as well, and I know she struggles with that sometimes, still struggles with it a little bit. So call in up. You're old enough. You're on your own dime, but give her a call.
Yeah, your mom is not paying for it, but please call Dr. Lynn. Your number.
No, how do you call? What's your number?
Oh, it's 303-850-9499.
And your website?
Two websites, HB Vision. It stands for Hellerstein Brenner, but hbvision.net is my practice website. And then all of my materials that parents and athletes and teachers can get a lot of materials and resources and studies on my personal website, lynnhellerstein.com.
But we can highly recommend her. She's an amazing person. She's an amazing doctor. So if you need the
Right,
services
and her information is really global. Like, you speak at all those international conventions. I know you're in a leadership role in your profession, and you serve as MC many times.
Yeah.
She speaks all over, and her books are available all over. So, if you're listening from outside of the area, you can certainly take advantage of those things as well. And then let's talk about what inspired you. We kind of did a little bit already, but is there anything else that inspired you that you'd like to talk about to take your path?
Sure. I knew I was always interested in some type of medical field, but it was really my own reading problems that inspired me to go into the vision field. I did well in school, and I'm not proud of it, but I did well by not reading very much. And I'd read the words on that page that float around, and I'd get tired and blurry, and I could fall asleep in 2 seconds. Give me a book. And so that's what really drove me to look more into that optometry field and get more into it.
That's good. What are you excited about? What's coming up that's new or different, or what are you personally excited about for when your books coming out? What's happening, girl?
Well, no books on the horizon. My newest book just launched, Standard Vision Beyond Sight. What I'm really excited about is truly expanding my vision beyond what's there. I'm looking to start a nonprofit to provide for so many, not just kids, but patients who need vision therapy and don't have the funds. Vision therapy is not always rarely covered by insurance, and so I'm looking for a way to get this very effective treatment out to millions and billions of people across the world. So that's where I'm from right now.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. That's her kind heart. So she's not just about business. She's about, you can't go into it just about business. You have to go into it and love people and want to help people. And that extends beyond, obviously beyond the business costs. So that's wonderful.
Well, my best part is when I go to the grocery store or go to the doctors and somebody stops, but Dr. Hellerstein, you were in the from like 10, 15 years ago, and that we had treated a kid like Betsy, and said how well the child's doing. So that warms my heart.
So along this path, we always ask, was it ever tough, right? People see successful entrepreneurs like you and your multiple books and speaking around the world, and I must say the cutest glasses in the universe because I sport many.
She's like a glasses.
I'm a glassaholic a little bit, yes. And so people always make up a story called "That Was So Easy," Lynn. But was it ever tough, and what did you learn?
Well, I was on a road of perfectionism as a kid, thinking I could do it all, and I thought I was doing it all until 2002, and I ended up having a significant medical crisis. It really knocked me out and worked for weeks and months. But went beyond that. It just, I didn't know who I was anymore. It was a very dark time in my life. And, what's my purpose? My labels, a doctor, a writer, a parent, none of it meant anything to me anymore. And it was during that time that I really had to find a new operating system for myself and put my life back together. And it was really during that time that I created the See It, Say It, Do It process. So how to visualize, declare, and take action. That's what, with the help of many of my camp sisters, therapists, and doctors, and just friends and family, I was able to, 6 months later, finally recover and really look at my practice in a whole different way. And that's when I started writing books and picking up how much I was speaking to the audience as I was speaking.
And I think sharing that journey through writing makes it available to others, so you don't have to quite get to that point. We shouldn't wait till our body tells us halt.
I knew I felt like I was on this freight train ready to crash. I felt that for years. I never knew how to stop the train. So the universe sort of provided me.
Yeah, then the train stopped you.
Nice that you put the process down for others so that they can grab hold of that maybe while they're still on the train before it hits something.
Yeah, well, it hit something. I'm back.
Yay, and the crowd was wild for that.
Woo, yes. What is your global statement to you? What would you say? Or right here, what will you say? Here we are.
Sure. I challenge everybody to expand their vision beyond sight. Our vision doesn't limit us. We limit our vision with our own beliefs. And really challenge everybody to create a vision of their life that goes well beyond what they ever imagined. And then really be prepared for the miracles that will happen when you allow that. You know? And to be vulnerable. You know, that was my big lesson out of my whole health crisis, is allowing people to see me. And here comes a vision board. To truly see who I was, not who I was trying to be.
Well, that is very deep and very good. And I know as you've gone through your knee replacement, and there was nothing more joy-filled than to come over and spend some time with you and just get to be with you.
And I thank you.
Yes, and we all enjoy that so much. Well, we have this fun thing we do, and you pick from this magical girlfriend deck card, and this is random act. So just pick a card, and then you have to read it and answer it for our listeners, and I can't guarantee what it's going to say.
What is the best compliment you have ever received?
That's a good one.
Yeah. No, I think the best compliment is when people allow me into their space to listen, giving me that trust to really just listen to them. I honor them so much. It just truly, again, touches my soul that they allow me into space.
Yes. Well, I would like to promote the Trunk Show because it is kind of my favorite day of the year. If you are listening anywhere in the Denver, Colorado area on May 2nd, Lynn has her annual Trunk Show. People flock from across the world. Okay, I do. They have an opportunity to experience so many brands. Lynn, tell them just a little bit about the Trunk Show.
Yeah, so we bring in 4 of our sales reps, you know, like from Coach to Ray-Ban and a couple other really great brands. And they bring in their big suitcases and open them up with so many frames that you can choose and try. We have stylists there to help you. We have fashion people, camp sisters. You get 25% off your lenses, and there's special single vision lenses, $40. Just lots of great deals. A lot of frames to pick out, and you have all the people you'd like to help you decide which is your best fit.
So now's the time, no matter how you see, at least get those computer glasses, because those are single vision glasses, right?
A lot of times.
So
very high tech.
So where you can get a pair of glasses that are just so far from, so you can see your computer better. So that's a good time to go in there and get a deal and get
sunglasses. Always a pick for me, and also to get my daughter in contacts was big, working with your group, and now to get her into really good sunglasses to protect those eyes with her contacts. So many great reasons. So if you're not in the Denver, Colorado area and you're jealous, we understand. But the rest of us will all be on May 2nd at Hosting
You can find us there.
And if you come later in the day, you can meet some camp experience, network sisters, and grab a glass of wine.
Thanks for sharing your space with us today.
Thank you. You guys are great.
Thank you. And we love having you on the show. We'll have you back.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So perfect way to start with vision, right?
I know. And a perfect way to start. She's amazing and truly a great person. And it's been fun to know her, and I know that people will not go wrong if they run in there and have her help them.
No, and just as a resource, especially this vision therapy thing, people don't know your kids may be struggling. They could also just not be seeing. I mean, Sarah's eyes literally were not lining up, and you would not know that by looking at her. She was a little kid. She didn't know she couldn't see. So it's so important to understand what we don't know and really get the kind of help that we need. It's great.
I can't wait for that Trunk Show. We have so many fun things that's coming up, and we'll talk about them later with coming up in Denver. And there's also some great things happening around the world. So.
Well, I'm wearing the Global Sisterhood logo today, right? I'm sporting it. There may be some in your future. You know how I take care of you. But, we have been going on the road to do some interviews, and today we are premiering one of our first interviews from on the road. So that will be very, very, very exciting. And yes, we're moving in our new guests who are going to be very close friends with us. As he and Liz right here in the chat. We're just telling that to And we're welcoming and briefing at the same time our guests from Metro North Chamber and Susan Free from Sunshine Plumbing, Heating, and Air to talk about Thriftinista.
Oh my God, I love Thriftinista.
And the crowd goes wild.
This is amazing. I have on my boots that I got, from the thrift store just in honor of this show.
Awesome, thank you, Rhonda. Well, I think so many of you are like, Thriftinista? What the heck is Thriftinista? So Susan, you have to start by kind of setting up this whole what is Thriftinista, and then we can explain Metro North's involvement and what we're going to do on April 13th.
Okay. Well, during the last recession, I think I became a recessionista because I couldn't really afford to shop at the stores I always had. So I realized that you could get Ann Taylor pants in Goodwill for $5, and then I was hooked. And then it became to a point where people wanted me to take them shopping all the time. And I didn't really have the time to do that. And I said, we really need a bus. And lo and behold, a woman that I know from my Rotary Club, Kaylee Carey, sorry about that, works for First Transit and had a bus to use for community events. So we made it a nonprofit fundraiser. You pay to get on the bus. You get lunch and breakfast. I tell you all about what's in fashion, and then we help you thrift. And we go from store to store. And at the end of the day, we have a little party, and it is awesome.
I've heard it's wonderful. I'm going to go on.
Well, I now can say out loud, I'm a MT, yes, master thrifter.
You are.
And I have been on the tours with Susan, which have been so enjoyable. And now here in April, we're going to do this again with our friend Kim from Metro North Chamber. So tell everyone a little bit about Metro North and just kind of what their commitment is to helping women and businesses here in Colorado.
Yeah, absolutely. And I am wearing my thrift find as well.
That coat is amazing.
Thank you.
We would like you to lead that.
Yeah, that's it.
Before you go.
I don't think I've been in it.
No,
she's
we might not get into it, but Susan could fit in it. Susan has her eye on your coat, Kim. So
she have a cute short back coat because I like that.
Make that two short back coats. Okay, I'm Kim. Sorry, we're back on track.
No, that's fine.
Tell us all about Metro.
Well, I'm so excited to be the newest team member at the Metro North Chamber of Commerce, and our goal is really to help people connect and grow their businesses. So Susan has been a long time team member of the board, very, very active member, so we are very excited to co-produce, is that the right word? Co-sponsor this event with her. I'm really looking forward to attending myself because I've been a Thriftinista in training on my own. So
she might be going for her MT. Perhaps you will get awarded your MT after a day of trial. We'll check you out. Kim, what is your background? Before you came to Metro North, tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, so my background is mainly in communications. I've spent a lot of years in nonprofit and education. Mostly at Junior Achievement, so if you're familiar with that.
Yes, we love Junior Achievement.
I actually did that for about 5 years at the good school.
Oh, terrific. Terrific. So the way that this went so seamlessly with this position is it's really about preparing students for a career, right? To be successful in a career, and that is exactly what the chamber is doing. It's helping support and help entrepreneurs and businesses grow so that there's a really seamless connection.
Well, so speaking of businesses that have been growing and winning every award ever created in the history of awards, Susan Frew, I know you're super active as convention in Metro North Chamber, but also tell us about Sunshine and your business.
Sunshine Plumbing, Heating, Air. My husband and I started in 2012. We merged our collective talents. I was a business coach. He was a plumber and HVAC technician, and Sunshine was born. And we entered a market with 950 competitors, and our way to be known and to be seen is to deliver outstanding, top-shelf, white glove treatment to our customers all the time.
And you do.
And you do. And we are a customer, and our boiler is so cool that her husband William put in Keystone. It is going in a boiler magazine.
It's so cool. I actually took a picture of her boiler. When I walked out the garage, I was like, wow, it looked like something out of a Star Trek movie.
It looks like one of those actually organs in a great big church. It is that cool.
You boiler genius.
You should take like a keyboard and put it in front of it at Halloween and dress up like Phantom of the Opera.
See? And play the boiler. Before we get back to Thriftinista, I would like to mention hot off the press, Susan's new book. So, Susan, tell us about the puffer fish effect.
The puffer fish effect, as I travel around the United States and even around the state of Colorado, everyone thinks that Sunshine Plumbing, Heating, Air is this giant company with like hundreds of employees, which is so funny. We have 15 employees. That is all. But because we've been able to market ourselves and our PR and our reputation in the community, people just think we're huge. And they think they see our trucks everywhere, which there's only 10 of them, so it's kind of funny. But
you put them on very busy roads.
That's right. And, just like a real puffer fish, we're a small company that looks really big. And that's how we
are able to crush our 949 competitors.
That and great service.
That's a great price. And I would tell you, Susan is a sought-after speaker, especially if she talks about the trades and about careers and vocations for your kids coming up. So check out Susan Frew in general and her new pufferfish event. So let's go back, though, to Thriftinista, because it's an exciting day, and we're going to benefit a special charity. So, Kim, will you tell us a little bit about the charity you're supporting that day?
Yeah, absolutely. So the event will be supporting Period Kits, which is a brand new nonprofit that helps provide period supplies, tampons, pads, etc., for women in need.
But because then they cut out the I don't believe you can use your food stamp to buy tampons. That was a change, and so that's huge for people that are poor. Yeah, that's something that changed this year, and so it's great that we can support women because that's a need that they have, and it doesn't matter if they're through their home or need, but they're certainly having a need. Great, thank you.
Yes. So, Susan, tell us all the details of Thriftinista.
Well, it's going to be April 15th at the Metro North Chamber offices, and Kim will give you the address on that. It's going to start at noon, and then we're going to drive our own cars this time. We are not going to use the bus. It's going to be an express version of Thriftinista, and we're going to Goodwill, Arc, and Queen Esther's Plaza, all in Broomfield, right down the street from the chamber, so it'll be a short drive. We'll have snacks in the beginning, and at the end, you can win prizes for a unicorn, meaning a really awesome deal that you found.
Like Kim's jacket that she's leaving.
Yes. And how about my shoes? That's the thing we went to. I got one pair of Ferragamo's for $10.
Yes.
They're like $625
shopping,
and they're like new.
This week, and Rhonda scored. And also the fun part about Thriftinista is you make so many great business and friend contacts, but business contacts, because you have the shared experience with great women who are all looking for deals. And so the fun part is I'll be like, Kim, this is your color and your size, and I'll be on aisle 6, and Rhonda will yell from the back of the store, hey, I've got another pair of boots back here, they're size 10. So it becomes kind of an entire bonding girlfriend experience.
And we help you. If we help you to thrift, if you're not a big thrifter, so if like your thrifting experience is Nordstrom Rack, and you think like that's a good deal, we'll teach you how to get a good deal.
And once you get hooked on that amazing deal, like Rhonda's $300 shoes.
No, $625.
Okay, $625 record-setting unicorn shoes for $10.
Deal.
You are hooked. I want to know, though, a little bit about you women personally, because we have a little time this morning. So, Kim, what was it that was kind of your inspiration? Tell us a little bit about your journey that took you to nonprofits and took you to serving companies and growing companies.
Yeah, my entire career has been in the nonprofit space. So I think it's just a wonderful way to have a purpose and work. So it's to me, it's like the best of both worlds. I still volunteer for organizations outside, but I almost feel like my everyday is living with purpose. And that's what gets me really excited. But it's all about helping people reach their potential. So my career started with helping people who were in debt, then moved to inspiring youth to reach their potential, and now I'm working with businesses to help them be successful. So there's a theme there, and all of it just really resonates with who I am as a person.
It's interesting, I think, that your growth, business-wise, kind of mirrors, starting in your career, looking at people, some of that, and then looking at young people, kind of mirrors growing up yourself in a business. It's really cool.
Absolutely. I really like that meta view of my life.
Well, we're very insightful here, Bruce.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, Susan Frew. You are a woman of many, many talents, and you serve. I've never seen anyone serve as much as you do, and share the committees, and take the risk, and give of your time and talent, and be a Rotarian. And, so what is it, all of the above. But Susan, what is it that inspires you?
I think my mom sort of instilled this in me. She was always volunteering, always helping out, always being very generous. She's one of the most generous people that I know. She's been gone now for 20 years, but that's just how we grew up, and that's just who we are. And that's even how we hire at Sunshine. We sort of do an interview test. So if you've interviewed with me, you've been tested, you might not even know whether you're a giver or a taker. Because if you're a taker type personality, you're not going to fit in with our culture because we're generous and giving, and that's just who we are.
I would comment yes to all of
Now,
that.
I'm going to add a side to this because I know that it's hard sometimes to find and fill those trade jobs. Are you looking for anyone with your company? Because don't sit still to a company. I'm just going to go be a plumber. No.
We actually do have an opening for an HVAC technician because you're coming into high season, and potentially another plumber too. So we will always interview somebody because we will find a spot for the right person.
Well, let's do the contact information. This is a good time. So Kim, tell us the address for the chamber for anyone attending the event in April, and also how to get a hold of more about Metro North Chamber.
Wonderful. So the address is 1870 West 122nd Avenue in Westminster. And the best way to find that, you can get the address on the website as well, which is metronorthchamber.com.
Super. And Susan?
To reach Sunshine Plumbing, Heating, Air, it's sunshine.pha.com, and you'll find us. And I'll mention that you saw me on the show, and we'll have a special discount for you.
Oh, and Rebecca's wild about Mention Our Radio. So now we're going to do our global statements for women. So Kim, you get to start and imagine of what would you like to say to speak into the minds and hearts of our listeners?
I would say that if you have a dream, that you shouldn't wait any longer to fulfill it. Like, start today. So, I recently, became an entrepreneur myself, invented a game, and it was something I had always wanted to do, and I just can't imagine it took me so darn long.
What's the game? I have to know.
Oh no, okay, the version.
Change course. It's called Not a Problem, and it helps people think out of the box. So it's in a lot of schools right now.
That's awesome.
Oh, we want to know more
Yeah,
about
well,
that.
Oh, you're going on playing the game on the air.
Yes, okay, so we want to play the game with Megan. We'll take a note. She'll get you rescheduled and just wear a different jacket. Leave that one for Susan. And we'll play Not a Problem.
But it was just one of those things where I've always wanted to create something, never have. So I would say, stop waiting. I don't know what I was waiting for. Stop waiting.
All right, once again, okay, Susan, what is your global statement?
My global statement is to be a giver and really be intentional about it. Have a lot of gratitude and give first, and you'll be rewarded.
The rest will follow. Okay, now you get to do the wild card. We're going to make him, because Susan's the veteran of Boost Power.
Let's do both. We have time?
Yeah, we'll do both. I was going to make him go first.
Kim can go first.
All right, read and succeed. Not a problem, Kim.
What qualities do you like most in a man, in a husband? I would say agreeing with everything I think.
You heard it first on Boost Power Radio.
You're going to think like me, and that's it.
We love you. Okay, you had me at the game, and now you're in for life.
That's it. We love her.
And we will have so much fun scripting with you now. Yeah, okay. That's very good. I think that was correct.
That was the best one I did, too. I think that's absolutely true.
That was exactly correct. Okay, Susan, what is yours?
Whom did you date that was not your usual type or most unlike you? Well, in my single years, and there were a lot of them, I dated every frog, kissed every frog. So, I would say about half of them were not my usual type, which I don't know if I had a usual type, but I'm just grateful for the husband that I have now.
Yes, because you have the world.
Because he listens to everything you say.
Refer back to question 1.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, it is just a pleasure to have you guys. We could just talk all the entire show just with both of you. But again, Thrift and Easta was created by Susan Crew as just a really community outreach to help women get the most for their money, but also to just bond and have fun and grow their business. And speaking of growing your business, Metro North Chamber is your source. You'll meet amazing people like Susan and Kim and others who are just committed to giving you the resources you need to grow your business and grow yourself. So look them up, join us for the event, and we just thank you for being on Boost Power Radio today.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The crowd goes wild, and we got pufferfish books.
I know, that's awesome.
Right, hot up. This is hot. It's hot off the press.
It's sizzling, baby.
So I know about Susan because she's an amazing speaker, and I was working with her on her topics, and she was giving me her presentation. It was really insightful. Like, I ran home and told my husband, oh my gosh, they're really breaking through ways in their small company to have this incredible culture to really help people want to work there. And then wanting to work there then reflects on the company, which makes better service, and it all works.
I think we're hitting the chair there. I'm kind of bored on here. There we go. And the other thing, I heard Susan speak once. She was telling her personal story, and it was so amazing. Everybody's up on their feet and laughing and crying at the same time. She's an amazing speaker. That's why she speaks all over the world.
That's right. And so now we can start talking about the world because we do, and we also have a big weekend for me. So tomorrow I leave Denver, Colorado, and head to Sydney, Australia, and where I will climb the Sydney Harbor Bridge to benefit Camp Wapiapi.
I know. That's amazing. Thank you, Betsy. We are so excited. If you want to contribute to that, it's very easy. You can just go to Camp Wapiapi and you can go under our events and you can click right on there. Or you can go to Colorado Gives and put in Wapiapi
or Betsy's Bridge.
And Betsy's Bridge, and it will pop right up.
But so the backstory about this, and some people have been asking, why are you going to Sydney, Australia? Well, first, we're taking Boost Power Radio on the road.
That's right.
So the Global Sisterhood Network now.
Not we. Betsy's taking it. She's going to Australia. I'm going to Aurora.
Rhonda at home.
Yeah, I get to stay here.
To go to Safeway. But I am going to Sydney, Australia. First, we're going to interview 5 or even 6, maybe amazing women for Boost Power Radio and for the Global Sisterhood Network. So any of you listening, you can go to campexperience.com and click on Global Sisterhood, and that's a 24/7 access to videos released each week, women all over the world.
That's coming up too, isn't it?
I think you're
next. Did a video about me. I don't know why it's boring as hell.
No, it's not. It's the amazing Rhonda caught in video. So Global Sisterhood is really launched now, and now I'm going to go to Sydney, Australia, interview those women, and then it's very important because I'm turning 58.
You're still a baby to me, man. That's why she sits next to me.
58, or we say 58. 58.
Instead of 50 cents, she's 58.
So I'm 58, and to do that, one of my bucket list things, I had heard the person who invented the idea for the Sydney Harbor Bridge walk. And I said to myself, hey, self, you ought to really come back to Sydney, Australia, and walk yourself over that bridge.
And she's going to do it, and she's raising money for Camp Wapiapi, which is a summer camp, a free summer camp for children with cancer. In the process, you already have raised nearly $3,000.
Well,
we're hoping to get a little bit higher, to maybe 5, 4, 5.
I tell you, but every step I take, and remember, in March 21st, 1983, when I had my snowmobile accident, they looked at me in intensive care and said, she may never walk again. Mm-hmm. So it's very important, again, as we talked about today, on what story do you tell yourself, and what dreams should you live right now?
And you had 2 hip replacements. The same hip twice.
Yeah, I've had 2 hip replacements. So, for me, what I want the listeners to hear is, go do it now, right?
Yes, absolutely. Do it now. Do it now.
So I think for radio, it's like radio. We're radio on the radio. We're going to be ready for our video. So let me tell you the backstory of this is Maria Mora is her name. She is the coordinator for A+ World Academy, which is high school at sea out of Kristiansand in Norway. And my daughter Sarah Lane found it online and said, yeah, Mom, I'm going to high school at sea. I'm like, yeah. But anyway, so she qualified, and she did, one of 6 or there's 8 Americans here in 2018, now 2019, and they are sailing around the world. And Maria is the educational coordinator, and she's originally from Venezuela. So this is a really interesting interview. I think we're ready to go.
Oh, yeah, I think so. I think we can roll that video for us.
Hello everyone, I am originally from Venezuela, South America. So sorry if my accent is a bit strong, because English is my second language. I speak Spanish. So I'm sorry about that particular. I moved to the US when I was 18 years old. I went there just to learn English, and fall in love with the States. I thought, the education was really good. So I got the opportunity to stay for college. I got a scholarship in a college in St. Petersburg, Ecker College. And I did a double major in communication and Spanish and double minor in international business. After I graduated, I got the opportunity to stay even longer in the U.S. working. Got a job right after in admissions, and I started growing in the missions field, always selling education for universities and then after for boarding schools. And I did realize that my passion was to always work for education. And I can tell you more about that because you're selling something that changes people's life. You're selling education, something that is meaningful. It's not that you're selling a pair of shoes or a bag, or you're selling something that everyone needs in any level. It can be in high school, it can be in college, and I fell in love with that. I got a shot and opportunity 2 years after I finished college to start recruiting students internationally. So going abroad and traveling abroad and getting those students to come to the US in a particular moment. And I started traveling everywhere. So my first year I went to 15 different countries, which was amazing because for my experience I had only been in Venezuela and the US pretty much. And I started traveling the world working. It was a dream. And it actually was an amazing experience. And I couldn't also go back to my country because we have a difficult situation. But the opportunities that I got working hard internationally helped me to establish in one particular place. The places that I started working a lot and going to recruit the students was Spain. And being there, I fell in love with the culture and the country and the people. And I said, I need to come back here. I need to live in this place. I think I had an amazing experience in the US, but I wanted more. So I decided to do my master's degree, and I found an amazing university there that I worked my way there, got a scholarship, and I said, okay, I'm going to leave everything and now do my master's. It was great.
And what do you think of all that education? What are life skills that help you in this today?
Definitely, I will tell you the key. It's meeting people from different cultures. Being able to talk to people from different cultures is what is so meaningful. So, yes, I got the opportunity to travel a lot. And I think what I've done in 10 years, it's amazing. You can talk to so many in 10 years. We're going 25 now.
25
yes.
is wow.
Yeah. And
other than your home.
Oh, everything is Spain. I do have to say I really like Russia. It's a different place that everyone would think, oh my God, they're so charming and they're so different. No. Go there, meet people from there, be in the culture, be there, and you'll see how everything changes. Yeah.
So one of the questions I always ask is, tell us about a time it was hard in your life, something that was really challenging, and then what did you learn from it when it was hard? What are some of the skills in that?
Yeah. I'll have to say, going back to when I left Venezuela, my country, of course, I got an amazing opportunity to go and learn a new language, and at the beginning it was only for a small period of time. But as soon as I moved to the US, things in Venezuela and my country started going really bad. And I had to realize that I had to fight a lot by myself to not go back to Venezuela because I knew I was not going to be able to get a future because of the situation in the country. And I had to fight very hard to be able to one day get my family out of the country and bring them out of Venezuela. So that was a very difficult decision that I had to take very young at age because I was only 18 years old. But I got that one opportunity, and being able to stay and overcome all these years, 10 years, it made me realize that you can always fight and find a way. And there's always people that are going to be there to help you. The most important thing that I learned is to ask for help. And there are all going to be people that are going to help you always. So nowadays, I think, I'm here because of everyone that supported me during those years and helped me achieve my goals, helped me to get a scholarship to college, helped me to achieve my dreams of now moving to a country that I wanted to live in. It wasn't not an opportunity, it was a choice that I made and got the help for it. So
we always ask them, what are you most excited about? So tell them a little bit about your current job and tell us all, what are you most excited about now as you're setting your goals for the next couple of years and looking ahead?
Yeah, exciting. You'll think it's crazy. As I told you, I'm very passionate about education and changing people's lives. And I believe in my job currently, bringing people to study on mentorship and seeing the students changing in every port. I think my goal right now is to see them in June when they are graduating and see everything that they have overcome and all the challenges they went through and how they're changes people. So, and be able to help them grow, I think it's one of the most exciting things you can have.
So tell everybody else a little bit about A Plus Gold Academy, what it is.
Yes.
You and I know that very well. And thank you for all the help within our family.
Yes.
Because A Plus has been life-changing and wonderful. So tell the world a little bit more about it.
Yeah, so A Plus Academy is a high school. We offer the last 2 years of high school, and students live on a tall ship. Okay, it sails around the world, and the students learn how to sail, and at the same time they're doing high school while they visit 20 different countries. So it's a whole experience that they get, and they live with people from everywhere around the world at the same time. So awesome. And
what kind of kids, because people listening might be interested in their kids' house. So tell us a little bit about the application process, and then should how to get a hold of you, and we'll also post it here on the website. Yes.
Yeah, so you mentioned what kind of kids. I will say that we don't have an exact profile. I think a kid that really wants to do this and understands what they're going to go through the whole year. I think that's the most important part. To apply, just get in contact with me. We'll give you the information. We're looking to see students that really want to do this experience. We'll look at their grades, their recommendations, essay, but the most important, motivation. Students are motivated to do this and do something different, change the world.
Okay, and we ask everybody if you could make a global statement to women. So many of our listeners and viewers and all of our global sisters that are women, we're looking to each other for encouragement. So if you could say one great big global statement to women, what would you say, Maria?
Fight always. Always fight for what you want. You always can achieve any goals that you might have. Always fight. Always, fight for your dreams. You will achieve them if you do it.
And then tell everybody to say it so they can hear